Good morning again, friends. So I'm here for part two of this day. First of all, I'd love to show you the roasted vegetables and how they came out. Can you get over that? How amazing they are. But you can almost see or sense how amazing they are. And these were the potatoes I roasted, and I decided I roasted them separately because I'm eating them with honey mustard as my lunch. So yeah, well, Tim doesn't like red potatoes anyway, so that was just all a big experiment for me to try to see what they would be like anyways. I used the balsamic vinaigrette like you saw, and then I added on the top to make them a little tangy, I added the it's right here, Mrs. Dash. And it was a little too warm for me, a little too peppery. So I'll know next time I probably don't want to do that. But it was a trial, try and error. So I'm going to work on, let me get my roasted vegetables out of the way here. I just wanted to make sure you got to see them. I'm going to make corn chowder. So corn chowder is kind of an acquired thing. Everybody has their own liking. Some people like it just really milky and not thick, like a seafood chowder kind of thing, because they can be thick like that. Some like it to be thick. To be really thick, you need to use an immersion blender usually, but there's also another trick I can tell you when we get that far on how to get it that thick. So first things first is I had 3 pieces of corn left over from dinner the other night. Actually, 2 came from Marie because we had another dinner, and then 1 came from dinner last night because Sunny and Tim and I pretty much ate most of our corn. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera down here so you can see, of course. Get onto my plate here. Is I'm going to take all the corn off the cob. So yesterday, I have to say, I was watching Rachel Ray, and she was doing this because she was making succotash, and she suggested, so I'm going to do it for a second, but I'm not sure I'm all on it. She suggested, so it doesn't move around so much, to put a plate on top of here. So I'm trying it. I don't know what the difference would be in the steadiness of the corn, but I've got it up here. I do see, though, that the plate, she used a bowl, and I'm using a plate. That's a big difference, too. She had a bowl inside of a bowl, so it had all those edges. I'm not using a bowl, so, but anyways, that would be the idea. If you had a bowl inside of a bigger bowl, it won't go over, but right now it's kind of going over the edge, so I'm going to go back to the way I was with just on the, and then it's said to, all this stuff that might be left over, make sure you scratch it. Scratch it with your knife, or you can scratch it with the back of a spoon. Just scratch all the good stuff. They want that pulp. See all that pulp I just picked up out of there? You want all that pulp. Even though the corn is gone, you want to grab any of that pulp that's left behind. That in chowder, that does make a difference, the pulp. And as you can see, when I'm done with this, there is no value left to it at all. No animals would probably chew on that. So I got my potatoes boiling here. I ended up, for the convenience of time, I boiled my red potatoes, so they're almost all done boiling here. But I just want to get this corn off of here first. And yeah, corn chowder always makes me think of my childhood. This was one thing that Mom always made for us, and she makes it just with the milky consistency. She doesn't make it thick like they do in restaurants and stuff. So that's what I'm used to, and that's what I'm shooting for today. But I think I'm going to go somewhere in the kind of in between. I like it a little bit thick, but I'm not going to be like a restaurant, chowdery thick like a seafood chowder or something. I'm going to go somewhere in between. It's ended up being a pretty good amount of corn. Here's the thing: if you only have a couple pieces of corn left, no big deal. You don't have enough to make your whole family chowder. Who cares? Go get a can of really good canned corn off your shelf, or go get a bag of frozen corn out of your shelf. It's not going to matter. The flavors will all blend so wonderfully well. The flavors from the original corn on the cob you had here, because I've done that before when I didn't have enough. I've done frozen and I've done canned. So don't be shy. Go, don't say, oh, I can't make corn chowder. I only have 2 pieces left and I got, 5 people in my family. Go for it. This is only going to set the tone of the really, really super good flavor because it came from the cob originally. But, all corn came from the cob. So it's no big deal. Okay, so there's our corn. All right, so now let me just pull you up for a minute. The next part of this is I'm going to check out the potatoes for a second to see. I got to look at my fork and see if they're ready. Now I'm doing mine a little bit different. This is how I see if mine is ready. I fork it, and then I have to say I taste it. And they're definitely ready. I'm doing my corn on the corn chowder a little bit different than everybody else. You can do it this way. My corn is already cooked. And I'm not gonna, the true making it right from scratch beginning is if you grab bacon and you cook all your bacon down, you reserve your bacon grease, about a tablespoon more, because you don't want to super grease, sloth it around on the top of your chowder. But, you know, keep about a tablespoon of the bacon grease, and then you're going to use butter too afterwards, you'll see in a minute. But what I've done is I'm going to go straight with, these are fantastic. They are Costco. I used to get the name brand all the time, but these Kirkland, I found out they're even kind of better than the name brand. You get these in the section. I don't have a Costco card. I'm so thankful that my cousin went to Costco for me yesterday, which was amazing. And so, yeah, this was what was left. So, yeah. So anyways, so I'm going to use this. So I'm not going to be rendering that down. So what I've done is I've basically cooked everything ahead of time because I already had the corn cooked. It was done. And the potatoes just it takes not even 10 minutes to cook them. And so, yeah, I'm going to do it the other way around. But if you're doing it from the beginning, you cook your bacon. Then you put all the other ingredients in. And when you get to the potatoes part, you actually boil it for 20 minutes so that the potatoes can cook. I'm not doing that. So when I put all my ingredients together, when I get to that certain sweet spot, I'm going to be done. So this is a little bit faster when you're using leftovers. And I would have used potato leftovers too, except that I didn't have any because I used the potato leftovers for the potato salad yesterday. So I mean, choose your weapon. That's how I am choosing to do it, you know. So, I mean, you can do it purist from like they do, you know, making it all cook after they're all together. And here, it's your choice. So I'm at the point where I'm going to take a tablespoon. Here's a tablespoon of bacon grease. I always have a jar. I always have a jar of bacon grease sitting in the fridge. What good Farmgirl cook does not have that? I mean, I don't know any that don't. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in there. And that's going to come up to heat in a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my onions, and they're really chopped up super fine. What I did is finish off that onion from last night because we were cutting it up a little differently today. So this is last night's onion. So I'm going to be putting that in the pan as soon as that comes up to heat, and I'm going to be cooking those down. It takes about 5 minutes at the very most. And throw some garlic in it at the last minute, and then we're going to go with the next phase, which will be flour and half and half and milk and all that other stuff. So if you pre-cook a lot of things, like if you have, like we had leftover potatoes because we did potato skins. That's what I love about potato skins. When you make potato skins, you're really making 2 meals at once, because you've got the potato skins that you're pulling the skins off the top and you're cooking, which we all know how because we've done that video. But then you're also taking the rest of the potato and you're boiling it out so that you have a boiled potato that you can use, or you don't even have to boil them. You can leave them for fried potatoes, or you can parboil them and fry them that way, or you can use them for salads, potato salads. There's just so many things you can do. You can wait and boil them the next day and use them as mashed potatoes. So whenever you're doing potato skins, you're always thinking of 2 meals when you're putting them together. You're always wondering what you're going to do with the other half of the potato, because it is about half the potato that's left over, because it's when you're making the potato skins, you skim off about that much off the top. So okay, so our butter and our bacon fat, I'm trying to get you there where you can see it, are starting to warm up. So I'm going to throw my onions in here. Mess those about a little bit. I just want to get them translucent. Translucent the same way we did with when we were making French onion soup. We just want them to be a little bit cooked. And in this case, we want them a little bit more, because before if we were doing them while we were cooking the potatoes in the soup, then yeah, they would cook more when we're doing that. But right now, we really want them cooked down as if we're saying they're done. So we're going to use a few more minutes on this than you normally would. And I'm going to go put that pan on because it's a little warm in here. There we go. As you can see, it's cooking up nicely. There we are. I haven't gotten outside yet today. That's my afternoon. I'm waiting for the sun to, I don't know if there's going to be a good sun time today. Yesterday I weed whacked. How crazy was that? I did some weed whacking underneath an apple tree yesterday. Darn near killed myself. I came in, face was completely beet red. I mean, I was pretty much on the point of ridiculousness when I did that. I don't even know what I was thinking. But it never can be mowed because of where it is. You know, the tree itself is on this big slant, and Tim can't get underneath the tree unless we take all those branches that are under the tree and cut them where he can drive underneath it, which we don't want to do because we'd lose so many apples. It's ridiculous. So, oh, this is smelling wonderful already. It's smelling, ooh, really good. So, of course, as you can see, I added a lot of onions because it's Tim and he loves his onions. So, there we go. So we're just about ready to go to the next step. So I'm going to put you back down there. There we go. As you can see, they're working away pretty well. And I'm actually going to start using this. Now, an immersion blender is, I don't know if you know what it is, where if you're making like smoothies or something, and you're not using your regular blender. An immersion blender is to go down through the middle and it just chops up everything. It's the same as using a pulse or a whatever on your regular blender. It's just immersion. It's just specifically for one purpose. So it's one of those appliances that you have. I used to have one, but I gave it away because I felt like I could do everything with my blender. I'm going to do my usual, there we go, see how I do that again. And toss it in there. Of course it's sizzling because that's grease. It's different kinds of grease and I don't want it to burn. So I'm turning that down quickly. I'm going right here. And I'm going to just kind of give that like a minute. Kind of do its thing. Oh, this looks so like it's already good. So we have choices here. We can use water, chicken broth. I mean, everybody uses different. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make mine today with milk and heavy cream. Usually you use half and half, but you can make half and half with milk and heavy cream, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to put a little bit of, I think, chicken broth in here. It says you can use chicken broth or water. I'm going to use chicken broth. Again, I'm not using any measurements because I literally just, am using what I had left over for this and that. So I'm not really measuring. But I can put you a recipe up on there when I do this if you like. I'm just kind of doing my thing here. Oh, this is already, it's got a nice color to it. I mean, they would use normally 5 cups of water or something like that, but I'm going to make mine really, really, really milky. So, this is where you would add in the corn and the potatoes, and so that's what I'm doing. Corn and potatoes. Now we'll see how much more liquid I need now that I've got, when I get the corn and the potatoes in. So I'm just going to kind of break it up with my hand here. Whoops. Got the fan off so you can hear me a little bit better. Sorry about that. I just realized that the fan was right over the camera. As you can see, I just kind of was breaking it up a little with my fingers. And see all that pulp, that pulp stuff? Get that in there. You want that pulp. You don't want that left behind. So get it all in there. Clean up that plate and get it all in there. Now I can, let me get my hand washed a little bit here. There we go. I'm going to get myself a big spoon. And now I'm going to be determining from here how much more I need of stock. And Actually, I even have some veggie broth. That would be good too. But at this point, I think it's really cool. I'm going to, because all my corn, I just got to break it up. Again, my mother never used stock. She just used milk and corn and potatoes. So it's very, 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 see, as you can see, I'm just going to start pouring in milk and half and half. I mean, in heavy cream. So I'm making half and half by doing this process. And I'm just going to kind of do it to taste because remember, I wasn't measuring. So I'm just kind of looking at this and seeing what I got here. Of course, you're going to salt and pepper it after this. You could put thyme in it. You could put paprika in it. You can put garlic powder in it, whatever your cool taste buds are asking for. Go ahead and do. Again, this is I'm not following any huge recipe. We're just kind of playing with leftovers. Oh, that's going to be very interesting. I like it. Okay, so I think it's still a bit thick and bulky, so I'm going to add a little more heavy cream. And you can see this isn't super soupy, but it is kind of, you know, watery. And that's the way my mom made it. I'm only adding stock because that's the current way that everybody's doing it nowadays. But I normally, when I make it, would be making it just with the milk, like my mother. So it said water, and so I'm going to go with this. Just a little bit of that water. I'm going to check my flavor again. We're getting there. So then it's going to simmer down a little bit. I'm not going to let it cook for a lot because you're not supposed to boil water for a long time. And that's the other reason why I went with this recipe with a lot of milk and not I did the way my mom did it with a lot of milk and not 5 cups of stock like they're using, or 5 cups of water, because we're not going to be boiling it. And they said 5 cups of stock and everything because they're going to be boiling it if you're cooking your potatoes in here. For me, everything's already pre-cooked. So I really want that milk. I just want that milk flavor. I don't want anything else to mess with it. So I'm going to keep messing with the flavor, adding milk or whatever else to make it come to the flavor that I like, which you don't want to sit here and boringly watch me. A couple of things I want to add, though, that I haven't added yet, and I want to get that bacon in here. I want to do a couple of good old handfuls of bacon. Well, I guess you don't need to see me put the bacon in. I guess you can see that it's going down in there. I'll make sure I show you again just before we're all done. I'm going to let this simmer a little bit. I'm not going to let it boil like crazy because there's no need of it. There's everything's all cooked. We're just bringing stuff up to temperature at this point. And you can see how I've got all that bacon in there now. I'm going to be breaking up more of those pieces of corn. So now, this is the part. If you are a person who likes to have it thick, that's when you're going to use that immersion, what is it? What do they call it? Immersion? I just called it the immersion, oh, I can't even think of what it's called here. An immersion blender. There you go. You can use the immersion blender by taking some of this, as it is, out, putting it in another container, immersion blender it like crazy so that you got all the flavor, but it's turning it into like a thick goo, and then putting it back in here. Another way of doing it is if I really wanted it thick, like chowders in the restaurant, or like seafood chowder, all you got to do is when you're putting your milk or whatever in, you just put a tablespoon of your cornstarch in the milk, you know, dissolve it in there and add it with your milk, and it will thicken it up faster than you know what. So basically, I mean, now it's up to you. I mean, I can stand here and cook and tell you how to put things together, but when you're making it your own way and making it your own flavor, that's something I can't do for you. I can do all kinds of suggestions, but I can't stand here and you know, so you can taste it or decide what it's going to be like. So this is the basic. I'm giving you the basic to get it started. And then you can play with it from there. You want it to be thicker, you know, go with the cornstarch. Or use the immersion blender. If you have one, use the immersion blender. Or you can use your regular blender on that big, I think there is an immersion setting on the blender, actually, if you think about it. You can put chunks of ham in here. I've seen people do ham in their corn chowder. I basically just like bacon. So, and I don't like it too thick, so I'm really not going to go with the cornstarch and thicken it up. But usually you use half and half. I used milk, equal parts of milk and heavy cream, because my heavy cream was going to go bad if I didn't use it soon. And my milk is my half and half is brand new, and it's good until July, so I was going to hold off on using that and use this, because remember, we're not wasting anything. We're still in that let's not waste a single thing yet. And what's left with that, I think I'm going to do what Danielle did, which is make some butter. I caught her making butter yesterday, so that's going to be fun. So have fun with your corn chowder. I mean, I've given you the basic. I've given you the total basic started out kind of package, and then you're going to take it from there. You're going to make it thick, or you're going to make it full of, I mean, if you want to put other vegetables in there. I've never heard of people doing it, but I guess you can. But definitely I know people have put ham in it before. But bacon's pretty much a standard. You know, make it your own. What do you have on your shelves? Sometimes what you're going to have determines what's in that fridge, and we found that out yesterday when I was doing vegetables and stuff. Speaking of roasted vegetables, aren't those amazing? I can't wait to use them now. I got some salads and stuff I want to make. Anyways, have fun with this. I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing. Again, I'm getting these posts. I put them up to post them every day, but I am really having a hard time with the internet. Oh, look, I'm just realizing looking at myself in there, look at my nails. Props up to Rebecca Mori for my nail set. And this was one that I bought back in February, because it really is a Valentine one, but I just loved it for now because I'm just so in love with the season I'm in right now that I just want to put some hearts and love out there. So, and you know, props out there for oh, and Hillary Williams, she's another beautiful Color Street. They sell Color Street. And again, props out there to Elizabeth Studley for all the LuLaRoe I wear just about every single day. That makes me get through the summer. So yeah, so put on your LuLaRoe or your Color Street or whatever, and meet me back here tomorrow. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but I am putting them up every day, and I'm trying hard, but the internet isn't always cooperating. So just keep checking to see where they are, because I'm making them. I'm making the videos. They're just hard to post. Bye.